Saskatoon's overdose crisis reaches concern. Why the city's supervised consumption site could close its doors. A human trafficking trial resumes. What one of the accused said when he took the stand. And a special centenarian celebrates another birthday bash.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the latest drug overdose alert. The province issuing another warning about a mix of deadly drugs making its rounds. And as Jasmine Pelche reports, it comes as the city's supervised consumption site is concerned it could have to close its doors.
The Ministry of Health issued an overdose alert over the weekend for Saskatoon for a potentially deadly substance described as green, brown, and flaked. The alert says the substance, tested at Prairie Harm Reduction, was found to contain fentanyl, xylazine, and benzodiazepines. While naloxone counteracts the effects of fentanyl, it has no effect on xylazine or benzodiazepines. Prairie Harm Reduction hopes to maintain substance testing and other services in the face of financial uncertainty.
Keeping our doors open at all is always a major concern when we, are looking at our budgets and the money coming in. On
Monday, Prairie Harm Reduction announced a campaign intended to help the organization continue operations for the upcoming year.
We have $160,000, and that's all come from private donor groups and foundations. We need another $300,000 to ensure that the doors are open every day.
The organization says that if the $300,000 is raised, it will be split evenly between building repairs, Prairie Harm Reduction's employment readiness program, and the continued maintenance of drop-in supports. Emergency services have responded to hundreds of overdose calls in recent months, and Prairie Harm Reduction says at least 20 people who have used its services fatally overdosed this year. A response from the province says it is committed to adding 500 addictions treatment spaces by 2028, and 281 of these spaces are already operational. It goes on to say amendments that came into force on August 1st to include drug-related items as weapons under the Safe Public Spaces Act are designed to deter drug trafficking and use. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
The trial for two men accused in a human trafficking case resumed in Rosetown today. And as Hallie Mandrick reports, one of the pair took the stand recounting what he said happened.
Mohammed Massoum and Sohail Haider both face charges related to human trafficking. And on Monday in a Rosetown courtroom, Haider took the stand to share how he came to know the alleged victim. 54-year-old Sohail Haider is currently facing one charge of human trafficking in relation to a Bangladeshi woman who claims she moved to Saskatchewan under the promise of a place to live and employment from Haider. The woman, whose name is protected under a publication ban, previously testified to having her personal documents taken by Haider and being forced to live in a cold, unkempt basement while working at a handful of restaurants owned by Haider. The accused testified to meeting the woman after she sought out employment at one of his restaurants. Upon the woman arriving in Gull Lake, Haider claims that she did not have the experience she claimed on her resume, and he did not officially hire her. The testimony went on to recall how he told the woman to, quote, be patient, while Haider's documentation to hire a new foreign worker was pending approval. In the meantime, Haider testified to leaving the woman with keys to his business while he left for a trip to Bangladesh, even though she was not an employee and had not received any wages at that time. Haider also denied taking any of the woman's personal documents. The trial is set to resume on Tuesday morning with Haider's cross-examination. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Rosetown.
A Saskatchewan judge has granted the release of the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada. She was released on bail in Swift Current today under several conditions. Sierra D'Souza Butts has more.
After reluctantly agreeing to more than a dozen release order conditions, Romana Dedula was granted bail here in Swift Current.
Grand rising, everyone.
The self-proclaimed Queen of Canada appeared in court Monday morning for her bail hearing. The Crown asked a Saskatchewan judge for Didulo to not be released from police custody, raising concerns of public safety and issues of protection. During the proceedings, Didulo represented herself, despite the court recommending she hire legal representation. Didulo told the court she has no criminal record, adding she did not breach her undertaking conditions when first arrested by police on September 3rd. The judge decided to release Didulo on several conditions, including no direct or indirect contact with Ricky Mans and 2 other people, Mans being the owner of the decommissioned school in Richmond, where Didulo's Kingdom of Canada group had been living since 2023. She's also barred from being within 50 kilometers of the homes of people she has no contact orders with, and from being within 50 kilometers of Richmond. The judge approved of her residing with a friend in Regina in the meantime. Other conditions include being prohibited on possessing any weapons or imitation weapons and not communicating through the group's Kingdom of Canada website.
Quite a bit of time going over those conditions, and certainly our concern was that she know what the conditions are and that she'd be willing to abide by those conditions, and that was something that the court went through. We can never predict exactly what a person will do, but we trust that she will abide by those.
In choosing to proceed without a lawyer and defending herself, Didulo also opted in to have her case be heard by a jury. She will be back in court on September 17th for a preliminary trial. The Crown also said they are expecting more disclosure in the next few weeks. Seared Sousa Butts, CTV News, Swift Current.
Health officials in Saskatchewan say the compound where the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada and her followers had been living is a threat to public safety. Officials say parts of the former school that was serving as a compound have been declared unfit for human habitation. The building is being used as a multi-person residence and is not connected to the municipal sewer system. Police arrested the group's leader, Romana Didulo, property owner Ricky Mans, and 14 others last week after obtaining the search warrant to enter the site. Everyone was released, but Didulo and Mans were rearrested Thursday after being accused of breaching a condition not to contact one another. A lockdown put into place earlier today on the James Smith Cree Nation has been lifted. People were asked to stay inside and not to venture out into the community. A post to the community's Facebook page said the precautions were in place as officials verified information. RCMP say a person was reported missing from the First Nation, but investigators were able to find them safe and unharmed. A 55-year-old man from Christopher Lake has died after his vehicle rolled over the weekend. RCMP say it happened yesterday morning just before 11:30 on Highway 953 in Emma Lake. The victim was the only person in the vehicle. He died at the scene. There is no word on what contributed to the rollover. The victim's identity has not been released. A 26-year-old man is dead after the ATV he was riding collided with a vehicle. It happened Saturday night at about 9 o'clock on the Pelican Lake First Nation. The victim died at the scene. The driver of the other vehicle left the area, and RCMP are trying to find them. A fire at a home in Regina where a man was found dead has been deemed non-criminal. The Regina Fire Department was called to the home in the northwest part of the city early yesterday morning. The fire was burning on the main floor and brought under control quickly. One person was found dead. Another was injured and treated by paramedics. The cause of the fire is under investigation, but police have ruled out foul play. Cooler nights are lowering the wildfire risk in Saskatchewan. Most remaining fires are contained, but that doesn't mean the season is over.
We have a lot of fire on the landscape that isn't out yet. It's contained, it's being monitored, there's lots of work to be done. So we've already extended our own crews into the latter part of September already, knowing that there's still work to be done here.
Once wildfire season is officially declared over, the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency will do its regular after-action review to look at how this year's wildfire response could be improved for the future. Steve Roberts says it will look at everything from evacuations to when additional resources, including the military, should be called in. The province has also signed onto a firefighting resource sharing agreement with Nevada and California. Well, Laura, it looks like you've turned the heat back on.
That's right. It's like a little summer extension. That's what it felt like today. You know, it wasn't just nice out, it was kind of hot at times. So a beautiful day in Saskatoon and really right across the province. Looks like it'll stay that way for the rest of the week until we hit about Friday, and then things start to turn around. I'll have your full weather forecast coming up.
A new survey of nurses shows over 50% of Saskatchewan nurses are considering leaving the healthcare industry. The NDP says the healthcare system is going in the wrong direction after 18 years of mismanagement from the Sask Party. The survey shows a 96% staffing shortage, which has led to longer wait times, with nearly 80% saying it's led to patients' health deteriorating. The NDP says the government has driven many healthcare workers out of the province, adding a nurses task force needs to be implemented.
This is a promise that the government made in the election. It's been 10 months, and the nursing task force hasn't happened yet. Why? I mean, another solution is signing the deal with healthcare professionals. A number of healthcare workers have gone 3 years without a raise. How does that show respect to your frontline healthcare workers?
The Saskatchewan Union of Nurses says it's alarming to hear those numbers, but more needs to be done to retain nurses in the province. CTV News has reached out to the Sask Party for comment on the story, but did not receive one in time for broadcast. Saskatchewan's Vaccine and Infectious Diseases Organization has signed a partnership extension with the International Vaccine Institute in South Korea. The Minister of Trade and Export Development witnessed the signing during his trade mission to South Korea. He says working with international partners like IVI ensures the worldwide impact of VITO's expertise. The partnership is focused on post-pandemic global health. VITO has been collaborating with IVI for more than 20 years. IVI says with today's global health challenges, it's necessary to team up to progress towards safe, effective, and affordable vaccines around the world. The province is honoring first responders who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Officials gathered for a sod-turning ceremony this morning on the grounds of the Saskatchewan Legislature. The new memorial is planned as a permanent reminder that their sacrifice must never be forgotten. The memorial will be centralized in a location for all public safety responders to hold their annual memorial services.
This is just a great way to provide a space for families, for colleagues, for loved ones, as well as for classrooms of students or the general public to come and honor those who have fallen in the line of duty. Our protective services personnel are a critical component of our communities. They're the ones that are running into the face of danger when the rest of us are running away from it.
The monument will cost $900,000. Construction is expected to be completed by next fall. Saskatoon's hockey community is remembering a legendary Canadiens goaltender. A tribute to Ken Dryden was set up over the weekend at the Harold Latrace Arena, the home of the Western Canada Montreal Canadiens fan club. Dryden died Friday following a battle with cancer. The club's president and founder says Dryden's impact on the country went beyond the ice surface. Dryden attended several charity events associated with the club, leaving a lasting impression.
The kindness, the openness to children, to society, to community, and not just hockey fans, but to all people. His kindness resonated with so many people all throughout Canada, if not the world.
Dryden won 6 Stanley Cups with the Habs, earning a Rookie of the Year title in the process. Following his hockey career, Dryden was elected as a Liberal MP in Ontario. Ken Dryden was 78. SaskPower is reminding farmers to be cautious during harvest season, especially given an increase in line contacts from last year. According to the Crown Corporation, there have been 219 farm-related contacts with power lines so far this year, a jump of 17% from the same time period last year. Farmers are encouraged to plan their routes and check the power line map, have a spotter when working near lines, and to retract or lower equipment when moving fields. Drivers are also reminded to keep an eye out for more farm traffic, including trucks and equipment on roads around the province. Canadians across the country and here in Saskatoon came together in the battle against ovarian cancer. The Walk of Hope raises money to support ovarian cancer research. According to organizers, ovarian cancer is the most fatal women's cancer. The event is both a fundraiser and an opportunity to connect with others in the community.
When you're diagnosed with a disease like ovarian cancer, oftentimes you feel like you might be the only one. Being able to connect with other people who've walked in your shoes and who are going through the same things, it's a real sense of community. It's a sense of hope. We're here raising money for research to hopefully one day eradicate this disease. And it's also a day to remember those that are no longer with us.
31 Walks of Hope were hosted across Canada. People from across the province gathered over the weekend to share their knowledge about aviation with the public. During an open house organized by the Regina Flying Club, people were learning about the different ways they can get involved in aviation, whether it's operations or the production of aircraft. There were activities for families, teaching youth about paramotor devices, remote control and drone displays, along with home-built planes. The club is raising money for a charity which pays tribute to a beloved pilot and instructor from the community.
To the Regina Police Unit, to anyone that's involved in aviation. There's so many different facets from NAV Canada and the Regina Airport Authority that they can show how people can get involved and participate in aviation. It doesn't always have to be just sitting in the cockpit. There's so many ways that you can get involved.
The Regina Flying Club was founded in 1927. Now to a special celebration in our community for a woman who has lived through more than a century of history. Carla Shinkaruk takes us to where friends and family gathered to honor her 104 years.
Rachel Ironside marked a milestone very few ever reach, her 104th birthday.
I'm trying to tell everybody I'm 104. They don't believe me. That's why I went and took out my birth certificate and carry it in my purse.
To say she's seen the world change is an understatement. She was born in 1921, growing up on a farm with no electricity.
No telephones, no TVs, no radios for years.
Those around her say her positive outlook is her biggest strength.
She's kind, she's got warmth exudes from her.
Her daughter, Joan Cybernagel, was concerned when she moved her to her current care home, but that concern was short-lived because she said this.
You know, Joan, I make friends wherever I go. At that moment, I knew she was going to be fine.
And this is one of her friends here. They're big Oiler fans and don't miss a game.
She was my neighbor, and we just clicked right away, and we still do.
And when asked what her secret is to such a long life,
you're gonna laugh. Peanut butter.
She starts every day with that, and it's on white, untoasted bread. She used to bake that bread up until a few years ago.
You be here. And so here we are.
This is her youngest brother of 14 children. He traveled from Ontario. The big sister wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, very amazing. I am the youngest of the 14. And she's the second oldest of the 14.
Also, she boasts 36 great-grandchildren, 10 great-great-grandkids, and even 2 great-great-great-grandchildren. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.